we've got to pause and think. If they came to you tomorrow, suddenly, presidential convoy drove into your compound, and you think, I think I'm under arrest. What have I done? What is the trouble? But your conscience tells you you haven't done anything wrong. But the car, that's if you have a compound big enough. If you don't live in Chikoni or something. And they drive and they park in your compound. And the soldiers get out. Off those jeeps, the Land Rovers, and out of the cars, doors swing open, slam open. Watching them through the window, you say, what's wrong? And then you open your front door to ask, oh, what is wrong? You even are afraid to open, but you open, what is wrong? And the moment they see you, they all snap to attention, check, try. You see, and they all salute you, try. And then the leader of the convoy walks to you and says, sir, you have been made the president of the sovereign republic of Uganda. Don't ask me how or why, but we have been ordered to drive you, sir, in that limousine to the State House. Now, sir, don't pick anything because everything you need is in the State House. Try. Hey, you're like, what do you do, somebody? Huh? Are you thinking? You're like, are you sure you not made the wrong address? We didn't have an election yesterday. The last one we had, President Museveni won. And he's the one who has sent us to pick you up. But is that allowed? Don't ask. And while it's puzzling you, say, sir, you see that van over there? This whole thing is live on national television. Parliament has agreed. Cabinet has agreed. The whole nation knows. And we've come to pick you up, sir. Now the ladies are feeling, what about us? Okay, ma'am. You're like, oh. I mean, your head can swim. Your head can swim. Mephibosheth, Saul's lame son, had a small glimpse of that. He was not made a king, but he had a small glimpse of that. Guy grew up in Lodibar. Saul, his father, sinned, and his grandfather, because Mephibosheth was Jonathan's son, sinned against David. Saul died in battle. Jonathan dies in battle. They think David is going to come eat us up. All the Philistines, they pick up that boy, run with the boy. The nurse who ran with him was clumsy, dropped the boy, broke both legs, picked him up. I imagine the pain. You're running from the soldiers. You're holding baby's mouth. Don't cry. Then you drop the baby and legs break. Now you can't stop him from crying. He's going to cry the whole day. They ran all the way down to the village in Lodibar. And Jonathan, that boy Mephibosheth grew up there in poverty and misery, wishing how my father could have been the king today. And the historians of his time are telling him, Grandpa, your grandpa was King Saul. He was king for 40 years. And your dad was his son. Your dad was friend with this guy called David, and David now the present king. You could have been in the palace. Your dad could have been king, and you would have been the prince probably after him. But this is how things went. And Jonathan is in the village eating timpa and buga and mayuni and wishing for the good old days. I never grew up to see this and to understand this. By the time I began to understand, this is how my life is. And one day, Jonathan is reminiscing, and the storytellers are telling him, oh, the misery of living in Lodibar. And then they hear the sirens. Wing, 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 wing. And the dust. And the cars, only these were not cars, they were chariots from the palace. They drove into the compound. And they said, Mephibosheth, the king himself, King David, had told us to come for you. Not to kill you, but to take you to his palace. He says he wants to show you mercy for Jonathan, your father's sake, because he was good to him. Come in. Get into the chariot. Never mind that you're lame in both feet. Never mind that you're dirty. You'll take a shower at the palace. Come in now. And the guy with trembling hands gets into one of the chariots, driven to the palace, and sure enough, he finds David is waiting for him. Mephibosheth, yes sir, your servant. Come in. I'll show you kindness for Jonathan, your father's sake. And Mephibosheth was given back everything that belonged, that would have been Jonathan's, chunks of land that belonged to Saul, given back to Mephibosheth. And all the servants. And Mephibosheth was told to sit with the king on the king's table every day to eat with the king. He didn't become king, but his life changed drastically. Now, if we are to upgrade what we are talking about, it would be that this King David, when Mephibosheth comes, he tells Mephibosheth, I have actually decided to make you a king with me. We reign together. We rule together. But that is what Jesus did. He is the King of Kings. He is the Lord of Lords. And he came and picked us from Lodibar. We were lame in both feet, meaning we were not pure, we were sinners, we were all that. Picked us up, brought us into the palace, and said, you will not only eat at my table, but you are going to reign with me. You are kings. You have crowns on your heads. You are power sharers with me.
Love on the cross.
And Jesus says, exactly, that's the point. If I be lifted up, I want nations, men and women coming from everywhere, from every direction. They should come look for, where is the cross? Where is the place of our healing? Where is the place of our answer? Where is the place that breaks the curse? And they must all come drawn by the cross and the answer it offers.
Join Pastor Dunstan Kagwiisa on a journey into the deepest exposition of the work of the cross of Christ.
And all men and women, black and white, yellow and red, must look on the cross and receive salvation, healing, deliverance, blessing, anointing.
This teaching promises to change your life for good, forever. Sunday, 9 a.m. on all our online channels.